I got into a little spat over the weekend with another hobbyist, RunGoodLife. We are going to dive into it today. I titled it, Let's Stop Pretending Like New Product is Some Sort of a Great Value or Affordable. Stick around. What's going on, sports card collectors, investors, all of my collectibles friends? We are back again. It's another day, another sports card video. We're coming off of a New Orleans Saints victory. Although, man, they tried so hard to blow the game, but managed to pull it out at the end. So we will see 5-4 back from the dead.
One shall stand, one shall fall.
Let's see what happens. Huge shout out to today's video sponsor, DC Sports 87. You might want to sell on eBay, but you're like, man, I do not feel like packing up, shipping, listing. What if I have a return? Dealing with all that stuff? DC Sports 87 can take care of all that for you. Just shoot them off all the stuff. They list it on eBay. They auction it all off. And then in real time, you see the auctions ending. The people are paying. Bada bing, bada boom. And it's all good. So definitely check out DC Sports 87. All right. It is no secret that I am not a big fan of the new product pricing. And really, this just kind of goes back. If we go back 5 years, and again, I know the hobby's changed a lot in 5 years, but hobby boxes for Prism, football, basketball, they used to be $150, $200 if we go back 5 years. Back 5 years in time, Luca Donic, 2018, before the surge, it was $150, $200 a box. And really, we've seen that steadily rise, and it's gotten to a point now where prices have gone way up. They have not really corrected very much, maybe slightly, but they're also printing more of it, so it's a double whammy. A very popular breaker YouTuber, RunGoodLife, the passionate tweeter on the old Twitter X machine, whatever the heck it's called these days. And I will give this guy credit because, first off, he does know his stuff. He does understand new products. And I actually do think that he's a breaker that cares about his customers and does care about the overall health of the hobby. And the reason why I say that is that there's been a couple of instances I've watched to where he has decided, I think this was last year, Prism, maybe football, basketball, but basically he said, hey, look, I'm not selling break spots in this because frankly, I don't think that there is value in it for my customers, for people out there that are looking to get into the product. It's too overpriced. It doesn't make sense. I have never seen a breaker do that before, or at least not a large breaker do it. A lot of breakers, frankly, don't give a damn. They're here to like churn and burn. I hate to say it, but that's what I have seen with my own eyes. And again, that's not me buying into breaks, but it's me just watching what's going on in the hobby. It's paying attention. It's hard to miss breaks. Whether you're at a card show, you hear all the screaming and the yelling with the giant hits. Online, it's very popular to watch breaks and the big hits that come out of them. And look, I enjoy that as well. Watching a flawless break where a logo man gets pulled. It's exciting, entertaining stuff. So I get all of that. So here recently, RunGoodLife put a post up and I responded to it. And basically what he was saying is the Nebula Wemby draft picks card was pulled. And he was informing actually people that, hey, look, this product's starting to get diluted. Might not make a whole lot of sense as these big cards are getting pulled. And then it's kind of like, why buy into the product? It's kind of like the Lord of the Rings card. When you look at that one of one Lord of the Rings card that Post Malone bought for a couple $1,000,000, there's not a bunch of other chase cards in that. Now, hobby boxes have held up pretty well for that product, surprisingly. And again, different genre and everything else. But the main point is that as the big cards get pulled out, then what are you chasing after? So kudos to him for coming out. He does put this information out there, and I think that speaks to the popularity of RunGoodLife, is the transparency there. He's not just a hype man. But right here, he does talk about draft picks sports. He likes those products in comparison to what he's saying with NBA product or NFL product, the officially licensed jersey stuff. He's just making the comparison of price point, $250 for draft picks first off the line box versus $1,200, $1,250 for regular old Prism first off the line product. Huge difference in price. But what he's saying is, hey, look, you can get 33 to 50% of your money back, estimating, on a draft picks box compared to, you're really rolling the dice at that $1,200 price point. He's just saying there's better value in that draft pick set. But then I looked at it and I was just like, my God, This is a guy that breaks product every single week. He knows his stuff. He understands new product. And he's telling me that 33 to 50% is good value back on a box. That's really all that I need to know that all of this stuff is overpriced. If that is the upside, if that's the best case scenario or the better case scenario is you're getting 33 to 50% of your money back when you open up a box of cards, I mean, that is quite literally the driving off the lot, the new car off the lot, depreciation right out of the gate, and tells me that I'm doing the right thing just playing in the singles market currently. And it's just a belief that I have that right now, new product has not corrected back down. And of course, you've got a problem because Fanatics just paid $1 zillion to play in this space. And the idea that we're going to somehow get, hobby boxes, Prism, style hobby box, really good value there, $150, $200 boxes again, going back 5 years, doesn't seem possible just based on this fact. So this is kind of a double-edged sword. We've got Fanatics that's involved that brings the marketing might, the muscle, brings the ability to get this thing mainstream. But the idea that we're going to go back to new product, being less expensive, I just don't see how that's possible unless, again, they're going to come out with a bunch of different products, lower tier products. The MLB, I think it was MLB debut, was $90 a hobby box. It's an affordable box. They're going to print that stuff to the moon, obviously. But hey, at least it's an entry point that you can sink your teeth into with the possibility of a big hit. And I think this right now is really a thorn in the side of the hobby because a lot of the big knock on modern, ultra modern is, man, you're paying all this money up for these guys that haven't proved anything yet. And, you've got all these guys that have Hall of Fame careers, vintage type stuff. And when we look at pricing over the last 2.5 years for most of that stuff, it's been deflating. It's been, de-escalating. We've seen a deflationary environment really in card prices going back in time. Hey, it's like, why buy expensive Herbert cards when I can just buy Jerry Rice or I can just buy Montana or I can buy whoever, pick a vintage player. Vintage has moved down as well, especially mid-tier grade style stuff. If you're buying, PSA 10 Ricky Henderson rookie cards, then yeah, you're probably not getting much of a discount off of some of these older prices. But if we're comparing the price of new product to, man, I can get Legends that their prices have come down, it's making it real easy to just buy singles of Legends because we don't have a good solid entry point to get in on these new players. I think Wemby's going to be this example. And again, we're all screwed up here because we've got Panini and Fanatics fighting over all this stuff. Wembanyama is going to be an interesting case study in 5 years, 10 years, 20 years if he ends up being kind of that next guy, he's LeBron part 2 or whatever, or just not even necessarily LeBron, but just a next superstar, maybe a Giannis, okay? So he's a next superstar in the league. People are going to look at this year, all the weirdness around what's his rookie card, what's his best card, what's what. This rookie class could really get screwed up. And I said on a video going back, I think Wembanyama is going to have more rookie cards than any high-profile prospect ever. I think between, Panini's going to make their products, Fanatics will, Leaf will probably, Leaf is going to make stuff. Everyone's going to throw something against the wall out here. Everybody's going to have Wemby cards, and that's going to be tough because it's going to be like, all right, well, what is what in this space? And the hobby dollars can only go to so many spots. So it's going to be really interesting to see 10 years down the road, what is considered Wembanyama's true rookie? What's his best cards? And the point that I was making here with RunGoodLife is let's see what this looks like in 6 to 12 months down the road. Draft picks cards historically, in the short run, you might be doing fine, but in the long run, they just don't hold up. That's just what we've seen. Now, maybe we're in a screwy, the Panini Fanatics thing gets all messed up. We don't really know. He doesn't really have a Prism card. Does he have a Topps Chrome? What has he got? And so maybe this draft pick stuff does hold up just simply because of all the weirdness that's going on in manufacturing right now. I don't know. Obviously, I can't see the future. That was all that I was stating here is that I'm not a believer in draft picks products over a longer period of time. I said here, even in 6 to 12 months, based on what we've seen historically kind of going back. Now, maybe it's different this time, but that was all that I was saying there. And I think that all that he was just trying to say is, hey, look, compared to regular old NBA Prism, NBA jersey, you're going to pay 5x for a box of that. Compared to this, you actually can get better value consistently out of these draft picks boxes over a short period of time, which is probably true. I still contend, I just think all of it is too expensive. When we see the majority of breaks and we see the majority of boxes being open, it's like I paid $500 for a box, I probably got $50 of value. There's way more of that going on than there is, hey, I paid $200 for a box and I got $150, $200 of value back. At least that's what I've been seeing and hearing, kind of paying attention to the space. All right, guys, let us know your thoughts as usual in the comments below. This is not necessarily a right or wrong. As I said, I do respect RunGoodLife. I think that he runs a good operation over there, but maybe we just differ in opinion on what's going on in the world today as far as new product pricing goes. Or maybe we agree. That's all I've got. Stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.